Stevie Nicks, great. Fleetwood Mac. So listen, hello, good morning. It's Thursday, 10 o'clock, and it's time for a bit of Keith Speaking Academy. Now, today, it's a really exciting topic. We're going to be looking at the topic of jobs. Lovely. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Keith, are you really going to do the whole class from your car? Well, not exactly. I'm going to rush back to the office right now. Well, my home office, because I work from home. Hopefully, I'll be back before the music finishes. Right, wish me luck. Never leave your mobile phone in the car. Oh, whoa, there we go. I'm back. Wow, just in time. And amazingly, I've changed my clothes, a bit like Superman. Oh, super teacher. Great. How are you then? Good to see you this morning. This morning, we've got this exciting topic of jobs we're going to talk about, right? Looking forward to that. Before we do, let me just see who is in the house over here. We've got, hello, DJK. Aman, hello. Mohammed Daham, nice to see you. Gloria, hello there. Aziza, right. DJK, wow, hello. Rosalind, nice to see you. Arda, good luck with your operation. I hope you're getting better soon. That's great. I hope so. Mix masala, lovely handle. I like that. I like a bit of masala. Bini Vinod, nice to see you, sir. And Pratikska Dubey. Flower and Blue, Daniel Saber, nice to see you guys all here. This is great. So excited to beginning today. We're going to be looking at the topic of jobs, as I said. And I've been experimenting a little bit, and I'm going to see if this works. But forgive me if there's lots of mistakes. But I think it was it Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO? Oh, well, ex-CEO, right? He's just changed. He's just stepped down, actually. He's now an executive director. It was either Steve Bezos or Larry Page of Google who said, you must always, always, always be experimenting because only 10% of the things you do will work. And if you never experiment, you'll never find new things. So I think that's great. I'm going to start experimenting today with this software, right? Today's lesson, what it means is I have to hide over here. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today, right? On the lesson, this lesson all about jobs. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take that out of the way. We're going to be looking at essential vocabulary, right? And interestingly, why is this painting important? Yeah, who is that? Do you know who that is? Well, I wonder. We'll be seeing in a moment. And we're also going to be doing, by the way, as you have mentioned, Happy Chinese New Year to those of you celebrating, and Happy New Year for those of you in Vietnam also. I know a lot of you are celebrating the New Year's Eve tonight, so all the best for you. Now, what else have we got? We've got phrasal verbs. I'm going to be looking at some interesting phrasal verbs on this topic today. I'm going to be looking at talking about your job and your ideal job, right? Is it really all about the money? Show me the money. That was Jerry Maguire, if I remember correctly, right? So we're also going to be doing a video. I'm going to show you a short video and do a bit of listening practice. I'll also do some idioms. I mean, for example, do you know this? She doesn't pull her weight. Well, we're going to be finding out in today's lesson. And also, we'll be looking at sample answers and finishing, as always, with Kahoot to have a little bit of fun. So all of that will be going on today. Bring it all back. Come on. Here we go. Today's lesson. How exciting. Good. Now, if you're on YouTube, please do remember, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and you can find out more about, well, new videos coming up. I've got an exciting video on Saturday coming out, which is all about part 3 tips. I did part 3 last week, right? But I'm doing even more in-depth tips this week. So look out for that. Do remember to check me out on the Keith Speaking Academy. That's the website. It's the one over here. I'll just show you. And just to remind you that at the end of the class today, right, you can go to the website, the Keith Speaking Academy, check out, not that, that's the pop-up. Check out the free live lessons up here, right? Because that is where you will be able to download the PDF from today. Right, last week we had this one, we had success with part 2, and you can find out all the other past topics. They're all down here, right? Animals, ambition. Ambition's a popular topic. So you can download the whole lesson, or you can just go and read the lesson on the website, right? As well, if you want to read it, you can go and do that. There's lots of exciting materials there and stuff that I think will help you as you study, right? It's all there. Great. That's it. That is the website. So let me move you away, Mr. Website. Thank you very much. And come back to everybody here. Good. So we're on the topic of jobs. Now then, let me just see how you're all doing. Chandeep, your video is very helpful. Good. Thank you very much. I'm pleased they are. Aswini, tomorrow is your speaking test. Aswini, fingers crossed, break a leg. Best of luck. I hope it goes really well for you and for everybody else taking their test, right? Emin from London. Nice to see you, Emin. I hope you're well. I hope you're keeping safe. Have you had your vaccination yet? Right. And there's Shahama from Sri Lanka. Great. Nice to see people from all around the world. Excellent. Nice comments. Great. I'm scared about the IELTS exam. Look at the emoji. Do your best. Well, I think you've said it. Do your best. That's the answer, my friend. Do your best. You can do no more than do your best. Okay. Lovely. So listen, let's begin. And we're going to begin with what? We're going to begin looking at essential vocabulary, right? So let's have a look over here. I'm going to move this jobs thing because it might distract. So what's the difference between job and work? That's a question for you, right? Thinking about the noun. For example, I have 2 jobs and I like both of them. And work, I have a lot of work to do. What is the difference? That's my question to you at the bottom. Check it out. What is the difference? Let's see who knows. Magdi says work. Magdi, come back. Work equals task. Possibly. Possibly. Right, now we're getting there. Lei says job is countable. Yeah, nice, because I have 2 jobs, right? You can see that it is countable. Very, very good. And you've said the same person. You've said here, work is, come back. Where did you go, Lei? Work is uncountable. Right, exactly. Very, very good. Yes. And I think here Aziza has the same. Job is countable. Work is not countable. Nice. So work here, I have a lot of work to do, is non-countable. Great. So let's just make it clear. Countable. Okay. And this one is uncountable. As a noun, right? Now, we don't normally say works or a work. However, there is one situation where you might, and it's here, right? If you have this, right? Do you know who painted this? Very famous painter. Anybody know who painted this? Does anybody know? Well, not yet, but I'm sure you will do. Here we go. Yes, we've got it. SG says Picasso. It is. Well done. It's Picasso, right? It is Picasso. And this is a work of art by Picasso, right? Now, you'll notice straight away a work of art, right, by Picasso. His works are great. So in this case, work is countable, right? But we only make it countable when we're talking about art, really. Yes, when you're talking about art, so a work of art, his artworks are fantastic. We can make it countable, right? But when we're talking about making money or working, then it's uncountable. I have a lot of work to do. I'm very busy today. I have a lot of work to do. Okay, so work also, of course, is the verb, right? To work hard. Let me just put in the verb to make it clear. To work hard, to work part-time, to work full-time. So part-time, maybe you're just working a few hours a week. Full-time is probably 37 hours a week. Or if you're working for a big company, probably 40, 45 hours a week. If you're a manager, probably 60 hours a week. The higher up the hierarchy you go, the more you have to work. Part-time and full-time. We can say to work from home. Notice it's from, right? So I work from home, right? Or to work remotely is another expression. We also say to work remotely. I wonder if any of you guys work from home, or do you work remotely, right? Work remotely. Very often, the T, we kind of make a stop. So you can say either work remotely, but probably more common is work remotely. There's what we call a glottal stop. Remotely. I work remotely. He works remotely. What about you? You don't work remotely. Right. Very, very good. Excellent. We've got also, it's other collocations. We talk about a well-paid job or a badly paid job. If I ask you, I know what you're going to say. Most people say, oh, it's a badly paid job, right? I have a badly paid job. I have a well-paid job. I have a badly paid job. Other common collocation to talk about a white collar and a blue collar job. A white collar job, collar, right, is this. So if you've got, like me, a white collar on your shirt, you're probably sat in an office and you're probably working indoors, kind of in some kind of office. Blue collar tends to be more manual work, working with your hands, often working outside, building, construction, engineering. We call blue collar worker. Traditionally, because the working clothes used to be blue of those workers, whereas the people in the office, the banker, the finance, the accountant, used to wear white collars. Maybe it's still true, I don't know. Maybe. A white collar job, right, is more like an indoors office job. And this one is more of a outdoors or manual job, right? So, for example, banker. But this one, for example, could be a mechanic who fixes your car. Could be. Great. So we've got different collocations here with work, right? Okay, let's see. Anything else that you guys are doing have got? Some interesting questions. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So Ida, you asked here, can work at home doing household chores? Absolutely, yes. I have a lot of work to do. It can be household work or it can be paid work. So it can be paid or non-paid, really. Yes. We talk about self-employed work. I am self-employed. I do self-employed work. Yep, good. Now, this is nice. Yes, sifedin, to work in shifts. Well, so normally, right, let me add this to my list. We normally just say, I work shifts, right? I work shifts. Or I work, you can say I work in shifts, but in the plural. Nice. Let's save that. I work in shifts. I tend to hear more commonly I actually work shifts without the in. But sifedin, nice, very, very nice. You can say I work the night shift. For example, I work the night shift. So you work shifts means that maybe you work, like a lot of nurses and doctors, they work for 2 days continually and then they take 2 days off or 3 days off. Or not nowadays, unfortunately. Yeah, nice, good. What else have we got? Job is a profession, absolutely. That's right, well said, Karbia. I'm trying to get you on the screen. A job is like a profession. So my job is a teacher. That's my profession. It's what I do for my life. Yeah. Some of you are not working. Absolutely. From work virtually, that's great. Let's put that one up as well, right? I like working virtually. We'll put that as another example. Lovely. Very, very nice. Excellent. Good. Huget, I work remotely since March. I have been working remotely since March 2020. Good for you, Huget. And do you enjoy it? I wonder. I hope you enjoy it. Yes. I'm just going to help you with your... It's worked. I have worked remotely. Yeah, because you began in the past and you carry on today. I have worked remotely since March 2020. Great. It has its pros and its cons. Who gets? I think working remotely on the one hand is positive, right? It gives you a lot of freedom and independence. But on the other hand, there are so many distractions. You have to be very disciplined to organize your work. So it's good and bad, right? What else can we say with working? When you're talking about your job, maybe you can say it's arduous work, right? Arduous is a really nice word. It just means it's difficult. It's hard, right? Or hard. It's arduous. It's arduous work. It's difficult work. Working as a nurse, I think now must be very, very arduous work. Can you say that with me? Arduous. It's a j. Arduous. Arduous. It's arduous work. One more time. And the stress is on the R. You know when you see the dentist? R. Same. It's arduous work. Nice. Very nice. Very, very good. Of course, we can talk about rewarding work. When you work and you feel good about it. Rewarding means that you get some benefit. That may be financial, maybe money, right? It pays well. Or it may be satisfaction, right? It's rewarding work, right? Basically, it means you enjoy it. And it is satisfying. it doesn't necessarily mean you get a lot of money, right? In fact, normally when we talk about rewarding work, it's normally about satisfaction rather than money, right? If it's about money, you say, well, it pays well. It's a well-paid job. Well paid, or it pays well. Good. Now, when you're working, right, of course, you have a manager somewhere, and your manager is going to evaluate your work and tell you whether your work is good or bad. If your work is good and very good, you may hear, "This is a sterling piece of work, Keith. This is a sterling piece of work," which means really, really good, right? However, if your work is not good, "Oh, this is a shoddy piece of work, Keith." I remember once I presented a report to my manager, and I was so rushed to meet the deadline, and I was up all night, burning the candle at both ends, burning the midnight oil, and it was really shoddy. It was really bad, and I knew it was bad, but I had no choice because the deadline was there. And so I had to hand in this poor piece of work. And I do remember, the look on my manager's face was like, "Oh, Keith, this is a shoddy piece of work." And he was right, yeah? What could I do? Deadlines, pressure, come on. Give me some slack, Mr. Manager. Give me some slack means give me a break. Help, give me more time. Give me some space. Give me some slack. So, sterling piece of work means fantastic, let's say. So normally these are collocations with work, right? Normally. There is some flexibility, but I would learn them in this context, right? Fantastic. Shoddy, terrible. I know. But I was up all night. I'm going to just share those comments I made. Burning the midnight oil to meet my deadlines. And I know it's not up to scratch. But please, you can't see this, sorry. Let me write it up here. But please, give me some slack. There you go. I know it's shoddy, right? Not good. But I was up all night, burning the midnight oil, which means, working or studying all night. Let's take that off. To meet my deadlines, great collocation. To meet my deadlines. I know it's not up to scratch. To be up to scratch means to be good enough. To be good enough. I know it's not up to scratch, but please give me some slack. Give me a break. Give me some space. Take off the pressure. Those are lovely. I just wanted to share those because I think those are really, really interesting expressions. And if we're talking about jobs and working, right, can be very, very useful. Right. Lovely. Good. Next. Yes. Next. I'm going to come back here. Remember we talked about today's lesson? We talked about what? Okay. Bear with me. I know why. We talked about essential vocabulary. The other one I'm going to look at next is phrasal verbs, right? Phrasal verbs. Okay, so let's come back into phrasal verbs over here. When we're talking about phrasal verbs, I put in a lot of work. I've taken on too much work. Let's get down to work. These are kind of nice phrasal verbs. I think it's a bit small, isn't it? I've just realized. So to put in means to do. I've put in a lot of work, right? Just means I've done a lot of work. I've taken on too much work means I've started or accept. So I've taken on too much work. I've accepted too much work. Now, this is difficult, right? Because often your boss will say, here's the classic case, right? Your boss comes along and says, Keith, can you do this extra work for me? And you go, yes. You know, how am I going to say no? No, I can't actually. I'm too busy. I have this, and this to do. Okay. And your boss says, I know you're busy. I know how busy it is. And I really appreciate all the hard work you're doing. But this is really important. It needs to be done by tomorrow. Can you do it? Okay, yes, right, yes. And so you take on the extra work. And then on Wednesday, you fall sick because you're so tired and exhausted. And your boss says, oh, it's a shame you're sick. You know, you should be careful. Don't take on so much work. What? Does that happen to you? I tell you what, it happened to me once. I was like, but you said, yeah. Anyway, the world of management. Welcome to the mysterious world of management. Great. So that's to take on, to accept too much work. Let's get down to work is to begin, right? So very often, especially at the beginning of a meeting or the beginning of a project, beginning of a meeting, everybody says, hello, how are you? It's nice weather today. Yes, it's raining. Did you get here okay? Yes. Would you like some coffee? Yes, thank you. Right. Now, let's get down to work. Let's begin, right? Finish with the pleasantries. Finish with the greetings. Let's get down to work. Let's get down to work, right? Get down. Notice the T, you drop. Get down. Can you say that? Get down. Okay, not get down. No, get down. Get down. Get down. Get down to work. To. Get down to work. Try again. Get down to work. Let's get down to work. Nice. Very nice. Good. Lovely. Like it. So there we have 3 little phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are so common in spoken English. It's really worth learning 2 or 3 for the different topics you're studying. It can really, really make you sound more natural, right? Okay. Lovely. Good. Let me check in. How are you? I've not been checking your messages. Ah, right. Yes, I burn the candles at both ends. Yeah, burning the candles at both ends is also a similar expression. Arduous, time-consuming. It can be, yes, Manik, yes, it can be time-consuming. It normally takes up a lot of energy as well as time, yes. Harry boy, I have a life-consuming job as a doctor. I'm sure you have no social life at all, I'm sure, right? But you're doing a sterling job, sir. You're doing a sterling job. Right. Now, this is interesting. And thank you very much for just pointing this out. I worked for non-governmental organizations. However, my parents said that was shoddy piece of work. Okay, so here, right, it's not quite correct because shoddy refers to a piece of work, not the job, right? You can't say it's a shoddy job. No, it's a good job or a bad job or a well-paid job or badly paid job. But for a piece of work is one piece of work, like a project, an essay, a report. That's a shoddy piece of work, not the whole job, right? A whole job, you would say it's a bad job or not an interesting job, right? A little bit different. Yes, Dr. Zahid, welcome. Can I get the PPT, what you have taught in the lesson? Yes, you can. It's actually a PDF. So this PDF you've got over here, this PDF is on the website, not now, because we haven't finished, but maybe 3 or 4 hours after the lesson, you can go to the website and you can download the PDF, right? I will show you later, but the website, is the Keith Speaking Academy. I'll show you, it's the free live lessons tab, and you can get all the PowerPoints, PDFs. I prefer PDFs normally. Good. Sadir, I've seen your comment about access on the course. I will solve it, absolutely. If you've messaged me, I'll go and check it and help you out. Great. Anything else? What does phrasal mean? Phrasal. Okay, phrasal verb. Sorry, I didn't explain. Okay. These are where you have a verb plus a preposition. For example, wake up, right? Or speak out. Speak up. Let's say speak up, which means speak more loudly. So these are just very, very common in natural spoken English. It's a verb plus a preposition. Put in, take on, get down to. There's many, many different kinds. Maybe I can do a whole lesson on phrasal verbs, maybe, right, in the future. But I think it's best to learn them bit by bit as you go along. Good question, though. Right, pretty jolly. Watching from the office in Dubai. All the way from Dubai. Great. Okay. Okay, everybody's asking, what are phrasal verbs? Well, I hope that helps explain phrasal verbs. Okay, excellent. Good. Let me move on, see what's coming up next. What is coming up next? What's after phrasal verbs? After phrasal verbs, yes. Oh, yes, we've got this one. Yep. I'd like to move on and talk about your job or ideal job. Ba-da-shee-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-be, bum, bum, bum. I've decided today to take, let me get rid of that, to take a full bottle of water because I got so thirsty last week. So today, no problems, we'll be fine. So what job do you do? On this topic, let me give you a couple of sentences or phrases, and then I'm going to ask you, right? So you might say, in this particular issue, let me just make that a bit bigger. I realize it's a bit small. Yes. You might say, I work as a teacher or as a builder, right? I work as a or an banker. And link the words, right? Work as a. I work as a teacher. I work in sales or I work in education. Work in is the field you work in, right? Maybe it's the field of sales, the field of medicine, the field of education. I work in medicine, right? Dr. O'Hare works in medicine. I work in education. Or you can say, I work for, and the company. Either the name of the company, I work for Amazon, I work for Apple, I work for who? I work for, I don't know, Google. Why do I think of all those companies? Or I work for a multinational company. I work for a local company. Notice it's not for, it's for. I work for a multinational company. I work for a Spanish company, right? So what about you? Let's do this one by one. The first one, I work as a teacher. What about you? Great, right? You can speak out, you can type, but also speak out. I work in education. What about you? Oh, I work for myself. I work for myself. I'm self-employed. What about you? Nice, good, great, good practice. Put a note down in the comments. Tell me what you do. Let's have a look. Oh, nice. So we've got, wow, all over the world. I work as a professional accountant in the Treasury unit. Wow, in Nigeria. Great. Adriana, I work in construction. Great. Ida, I have a startup and work as an entrepreneur. Lovely word. Entrepreneur. Great. Kimberly, I worked as a nurse. So in the past, right? I wonder what you do now. I worked as a nurse. Christina also, I work in medicine. Great. Burak, I work as an English teacher. Hey, join the club. Great. Amer says, I work as an engineer, right? Always linking, right? Work as an engineer. I work as an engineer. Hassan, I work as a telecom supervisor. Lovely. Great. Aida, I work as a lawyer. And I love your photo. That is right. Great. Justice, balance. Great. Sheila, you're either asking me or you're not sure. I work for an educational institution. Yeah, that's correct. Yes, I work for an educational institution. Absolutely, it's correct. I think the question mark's for me. So let's take it off because it's absolutely correct. Nice. Maya, I work as a photographer. Maya, I need somebody to take some photos for me. Can you come over to Spain and do a photo shoot for me, please? Great. Mumtaz, I work in hospital. Oh, now hospital is a place, right? It's a place, not a field. So it must be, if it's a place, you need a. I work in a hospital, right? So that is really good, Mumtaz, because that will help us just clarify. Let me just take you down, right? So this is the field. But I work in a hospital, school, bank, right? Is the place. That's great. Oh, Mumtaz, thank you so much. That really helps us a lot, actually. I work in with the place, right? I'll just take you off. I love your cat. Nice. Can you see that, everybody? The difference between work in the field and work in a place. Nabila is also a teacher, kindergarten teacher. Brilliant. Jarjish is, I work as a research. Where are you, Jarjish? I work as a research assistant. Fantastic. Great. And Farzan also, I work as a teacher and work in education. That is really nice. If you're giving an answer in IELTS, right, and you want to make it a bit longer, you can build, right? Build your phrases. I work as a teacher and work in education. And actually, I work in the school near my house. Cha-cha. Great. Don't go cha-cha in the IELTS test, right? Don't do that. Can you give me your full name? My name is Keith. Cha-cha. Right, good. Come on, seriousness, please. Let's be serious. What job do you do? Great, lovely answers. Now, let me move on. What about What do you like about your job? Because you're probably going to get asked about this sometime in your life. If not in IELTS, somebody sometime is going to ask you, what do you like about your job? So some nice phrases we can use here. I love the fact that. Great. I love the fact that normally we'd say I can. I love the fact that I can help a lot of people around the world. I love the fact that I can work from home. You know, I love the fact that I can organize my own time, right? It doesn't have to be can. It could be any verb, right? I can, but I have. I love the fact that I have a rewarding job because da 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 da. Or you can say it's good because I get to. It's good because I get to, and then talk about what you are able to do. It's good because I get to teach students across the world. It's good because I get to organize my own time, right? Similar thing, nice. Or what I really like about my job, and this is nice English, right? Instead of saying I like this, I like that, right? It's a bit boring. What I really like about my job is I can work from home. What I really like about my job is I can be very creative. Okay, it's nice. What I really like, and you stress the really, right? What I really like about my job is, okay, so stress and pause. What I really like about my job is ba 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 ba. Try that. Follow me. What I really like about my job is interesting. So that's my question to you now. Let's have a look. Write down in the comments, what do you like about your job? Let's find out. This will be interesting, I think. Okay. I love the fact that I can deal with sorts. With all sorts, I think you mean, right? With all sorts. I love the fact that I can deal with all sorts of customers. Yes. Good, great. Natalia says, it is good because I get to help people with the designs of their houses. I get to. Lovely, Natalia. Nice. Great. Is that interior design or are you architectural? Are you an architect maybe? What else have we got? We've got, I'm not sure of the name, Facebook users. Sometimes your name doesn't come up. I love my job because I great opportunity to interact with a lot of people. Right. Almost. I have a great opportunity, we would say. I have a great opportunity. I have a great opportunity to interact with a lot of people. Great. Suhel says, I love the fact that I have authority to take decisions. Beautiful. And very good, right? What else have we got? Shruti, your answer here, is it work in a bank or for a bank? Both. If you're talking about the place, it's in a bank. If you're talking about the company, it's for a bank. So both are correct. Yep. Right. Enzoid says, what I really like about my job is I can touch people's lives. Yes. People with an apostrophe. Good. I wonder what you do. I'm very curious now. Mohit says, what I really like about my job is the working environment and friendly colleagues who help me whenever I'm in trouble. Top-notch answer. Mohit, fantastic. Nice. Lonella, what if one doesn't have a job? Well, just say, I don't have a job. I'm a student, or I work at home, or I don't work. I'm unemployed. You can just explain your situation. Yeah, absolutely fine. You can lie, but I would just explain the situation. I love the fact I can help the citizens. Help to? No, not help to. I can help. Yeah, you're thinking of the verb help to do something, but help somebody. Yeah, right. That's why, Natalia. I help you to do something, but I help somebody. I can help the citizens of this country to get better or to grow or blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Natalia. Nice. What else have we got? Yes, I know this. I know this. I know you, of course, Shakun. I'm a blogger and I love the fact that I can work from home, I think, while looking after my family. And what I really love about my job is expressing my thoughts through writing. Lovely. Nice. Great. Engra, I love the fact that I can visit many places. Great. Good. So listen, some really nice phrases. Very interesting. I'm really curious to find out more about everything that you're doing. It's so interesting. Yes. You know, no, I can't tell you that, no. But I think it's really interesting asking people these questions and finding out about their background and what they do. Lovely. Great. So what's next? What's next? Water. Ba-da-shee-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-be, bum, bum, bum. Keep hydrated, Keith. Brilliant. Tell you what, it's great to see so many familiar names here. More and more of you coming back week after week. I recognize a lot of your names now. Oh, that's really great. It's like we are a little community. I know there's like 1,000 of you out there, but it feels like a small, like we're in a little room together, like cozy and warm. Nice. Love it. So what is next? I'd like to know, what is your ideal job? You've told me about what you do, what you like, but is it your perfect job or is there another job, right? So what actually is your ideal job? The question might be conditional. What would be your ideal job and why? Let me know. Nice. I'm watching your messages. I'm reading. Yes, Burak, I would love to meet you. And, well, all of you. We should do a conference, shouldn't we, somewhere? Be hydrated. Yes. Right. Okay. Man, let's start with you because you bring up a very, very good point. Aim, right, is target, right? Is you're right. But here, it's not the right collocation. So instead of my aiming job, I would say either my target job or my ideal job. I'm going to help you out a bit. So I would change that to my ideal job is to work as an aerospace engineer, right? So I'll put my ideal job or my target job or my dream job, right? All of those we could say. Let me just change my font. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, great, nice. Random. My ideal job would be to become a nomad capitalist. You mean like I don't know, a world traveler making lots of money? Absolutely, why not? This is nice. I wish I worked at a school, remember? Great, I'm going to add that. I wish I worked. Whoops. I wish I worked. That's a really nice phrase, actually. I wish I worked at school or as a teacher or for a school. Depends if it's the place or the company. Nice, great. Safri, CEO, right. Ideal job, CEO. I wonder why. You want lots of stress, right? Janelle, my ideal job is carpenter. Yes, remember, I think this is the other important thing, is that most of you are forgetting the article. My ideal job is a carpenter, right? Carpenter, let's say. Carpenter. What was the other one? Astronaut? Something like that. Right, so remember to work as a... My ideal job. Yep, brilliant. Thank you, Janelle. Your baby looks lovely. Probably not a baby anymore, right? Maybe 3 years old? Suad says, I would love to become an entrepreneur and start my own company. Yeah, it's a great idea. Great. Nice. Raihan says, chef. Me too, actually. I would love to be a chef. Asher says, teaching would be my ideal job. Get online, Asher. Get yourself a camera. Start teaching online. Oh, this is nice from Yo-Yo. I'm dreaming of being a scientist for helping more people with cancer. Very nice. Good, good. Nitu says, my ideal job would be a football team manager. Indeed. Why not? Why not? Becoming doctor was my dream job. Unfortunately, I ended up being a nurse. Well, I understand the disappointment, but it's still good being a nurse. Still good. But Birhan, thank you very much because you've reminded us all to put the article, becoming a doctor. Becoming a doctor was my dream job. Right. Lovely. Very, very nice. Excellent. Okay. I'd like to share so many more, but there are so many of them, right? My ideal job is working for myself. I wish I would work as a doctor. I wish I could work as a doctor. Not would, but could. I wish I could work as a doctor, says Olivier. Okay. Excellent. I'm going to move away. And I'm going to move on to, well, give me a moment. So I'm going to show you a video next, right? Video was the next thing on my plan. We've been talking about ideal jobs. I have to come over and go. I'd like to show you a video next and give you some listening practice. The video is actually me talking about my ideal job. Can you guess my ideal job? What do you think my target job would be? If I could do anything, I wish I would. What do you think? See if you can guess. Stan the Man. It's not Stan the Man, it's me. It's the real me. Chef, photography, cooking. Yeah, I do talk a lot about being a chef, don't I? I would love to be a chef. Singer. Oh, I'm a terrible singer. IELTS examiner. Not again. I did that enough. Go to Mars. Comedian. Chef. True, true. To become a millionaire on YouTube. Well, me and everybody else. Yes. Right. Rock star. Yeah. No, yes. Probably not now, but in my 20s, I wanted to be a professional rock star. Footballer. Not quite. Some interesting ideas, right? So listen, I'm going to show you this video and I want you to, let's get rid of the cat. I want you to watch the video and see if you're right about guessing my job. Also, as you're listening, try to fill in the gaps over here. Try and fill in the gaps. Put on a ba ba ba. To my ba ba ba. The adrenaline ba ba ba. Financial ba ba ba. And it's more of a blah 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 than a passion. You can probably guess some of these collocations, but I want you to take a pen and paper. It's IELTS listening. No, it's just listening practice. Find the collocations that I say in the video, right? Are you ready? Let's see. Okay, so you've got your paper, you've got your pen, you've got your head on, you've got your ears open. Let's watch the video and see if you can find these things. You'll need to write these down, of course, because when you watch the video, you can't see them. So make a note. Just write these down. Put on a to my the adrenaline financial. It's more of a than a passion. Okay, let's get down to work. Let's begin. Just give me a moment, because Apple has put it on the cloud again. An interesting job that I would like to do. Wow. Well, for me, I've always wanted to be an actor. I would love to be an actor. Ever since I was young, I've been fascinated by acting, dressing up, interpreting how people think and do things differently. When I was at university, I was a member of the French drama club, and we put on a play. I went to the audition and actually got chosen for one of the leading roles. Well, to my surprise, because I was quite, a shy introvert, and I got the role. So I worked really hard on my pronunciation, on my lines, with a lot of support from a teacher, and it was great. I loved it. And then in my 20s, I was living in France, and I went to several drama clubs for a few weeks here and there. I guess I just loved the emotion of acting, the adrenaline rush when you go out onto the stage and you perform and you share with everybody your interpretation of a certain scenario or person or character. I think it's great. So yeah, I'd love to be an actor. I think one of the challenges, though, of being a professional actor is the financial instability. Yeah, it's not a regular income. You may get an audition here or there. You may get cast or you may not. I think it's quite difficult unless you're one of the top kind of 5% who get really good money. You could be struggling for quite a lifetime. So for me, I think I'd like to be an actor, but it's more of a whim rather than a passion that I'm going to do. Wow. So there you are. Well done. Well, I'm just looking at your comments. So many people got it right. An actor, right? A really interesting job. One of my ideal jobs would be to be an actor. You might have guessed, right? I love being in front of the camera. Well done. And actually, it seems that a lot of you got all of those answers, right? I mean, let's just go back to the questions I was asking here. Where are we? So to put on a, I'll try and pick out somebody who got the answer. Nariman. Yep, put on a play. Well done. To my. Try and find another one. Somebody who got the answer. have to go back away. Hang on a minute. To my surprise, absolutely right. To my surprise. Okay, I'm just trying to find somebody I can put up. I can't find anybody. Okay, never mind. The adrenaline rush. The adrenaline rush. We had somebody had the adrenaline rush. Sailesh said the adrenaline rush. Financial instability. So Krishna said financial instability. And the last one was a bit difficult, right? It's more of a whim. So Dusky says it's more of a whim than a passion. A whim is something that you feel like doing suddenly, right? I have a whim to eat chocolate. If you suddenly feel like doing something, I have a whim to eat chocolate. I have a whim today to go for a walk. I've just decided, right? I remember when my wife was pregnant, she had lots of whims to have ice cream, chocolate, right? All these whims. Just suddenly, I want chocolate. Like 3 o'clock in the morning. I want chocolate. Oh, okay. A whim, right? To have a whim is a sudden feeling for something. So I decided at the end that it was more of a whim than a passion, because being an actor has this financial instability, right? So there's the adrenaline rush, is when you're really excited about something, but the financial instability, not a lot of money, meant for me it's more of a whim. I would like to do it, but acting maybe is not my passion. Maybe cooking is my passion, actually. Okay, so well done, all of you. I mean, some fantastic answers. I wonder if that's useful for you, doing listening activities as well. Maybe that helps, because we can identify a lot of interesting language. I think one of the best ways for you to learn new language for speaking is through listening. A, you know it's spoken language. B, you can pick up pronunciation. And C, you get all these collocations, right? Brilliant. Nice. If you want to watch an analysis of that video, go to YouTube, my YouTube channel, and look for this. It's in the part 2. In the YouTube channel, there are different playlists, and you can find some part 2 questions, and one of them is an interesting job you like to do. It's actually a full analysis of everything I said, a grammatical and vocabulary analysis, if you're interested. Right. Great. Very helpful. Keep doing it. Model answers are useful. Right. Great. I have a whim to start a YouTube channel. Naduni, it's a good idea. It's great fun. Right. Let's move on. We're going to move on next. Well, of course, I'm going to move next on to idioms, right? As I mentioned earlier before. I love that. Whoop. Idioms, right? For example, she doesn't pull her weight. I wonder if you have somebody in your office or job environment who doesn't pull her weight. Let's find out more. We're going to talk about idioms now. I'm going to share some idioms I have about work and jobs, and then you can share some of yours as well, right? So we've got about another 20 minutes. I'm going to try and finish on time today, because last week it was too long. But normally the class is about an hour and a half. I will try and finish on time in 20 minutes. So let's get and have a look. Let's get down to work. Let's get down to work. Great. So it suits me down to the ground. Lovely expression. It suits me down to the ground, which means it's perfect for me. It's a perfect match, right? So, for example, hello, go away, go away. If I say to you, right, I love being in front of the camera. I love acting. Then being an online teacher suits me down to the ground. It's great, right? I love teaching people new things. Well, being a teacher suits you down to the ground. It suits you. It matches you down to the ground. Means 100% completely, right? So that's a nice expression. It suits me down to the ground, which means it's 100% match or perfect for you. For me, let's say. I'll just change that. Okay. I'll just make this slightly bigger. I now realize it's a little bit small. So it suits me down to the ground. She never does a stroke of work. I bet you have this in your office environment or whoever you work with. When you work in a team, there's always people who work very hard, and there's always the freeloader. People who are so lazy, they never do anything, right? They don't pull their weight. Your weight is how heavy you are, and it means to work hard is to pull your weight. So people who pull their weight are great because they work hard. But there's always one person who sits in the corner, does nothing, playing Candy Crush. Oh, I'll do the report later. Yeah, right. That person doesn't pull their weight, right? She never... Oh, doesn't do a stroke of work. Sorry, it's the same. She never does a stroke of work, right? She's so lazy, basically. So lazy. They mean the same thing, I've just realized. She's so lazy. Whoops. She doesn't pull her weight, right? It's the same. She doesn't do enough work. She's too lazy. She doesn't pull her weight. So you always get people, right, like that, who they never do a stroke of work. They don't pull their weight. So notice if it's she, it's her. If it's me, I pull my weight. I like to pull my weight. I like to work hard. Right? Let me just make that clear. I like to pull my weight. Do what I am responsible for. Basically, right? I like to pull my weight is I do what I am responsible for. She doesn't do what she's responsible for, right? She doesn't pull her weight. I like to pull my weight. I do pull my weight. Okay. He made light work of it. It's a nice expression. He made light work of it, right? Basically means he did it easily. He made light work of it. For example, Ronaldo Cristiano, great football player, right? Now, for him to help his team to win the World Cup is really difficult, a really, really difficult job. But he made light work of it, right? He did it so easily because he's so good. It was so easy for him, right? He made light work of it. Have you seen the film Good Will Hunting? The Matt Damon film, very old film, Good Will Hunting. This young boy who's a genius, absolute genius. And the professor has this mathematical problem to do. And he's really difficult. And he says, Will, can you do this problem? And Will goes, yeah, 22. Right? In seconds, in the blink of an eye, he gives the answer. He made light work of it. Right? He did it easily. He made light work of it. Great film, by the way. Good Will Hunting. Nice. Old film. This is a cushy number, means it's an easy job. It's an easy job. It's a cushy number. So when you've got a job, maybe it's let me take this up. It's a cushy number. Well, I have a job where I get up at 11 o'clock in the morning. I finish work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a cushy number. That's not true, by the way. I wish. That's the trouble. When you work for yourself, you actually work more and more. You think you become independent, but you end up working more and more as a self-employed person. But if you have a job, you get a well-paid job and very little or very few hours, hey, it's a cushy number. It's an easy job, right? Talking about a job or a profession. And also we've got, it's not a great job, but at least I can get a foot in the door. Now, to get a foot in the door is to begin working for a company. So very often people want to work for the big companies, right? They want to work for Google. They want to work for Amazon. But they can't. But maybe Amazon offer you a very low paid job, right? And you think, well, if I start working with this job, I can begin to move up in Amazon. I can enter the company. I can get a foot in the door, right? It means to begin working in the company. Start working in a company. And the idea that you may be able to move up. I can start working in a company. I can get a foot in the door. Good. I'm going to share some of your comments in a minute. You've got some great examples here. I have hit a glass ceiling. I can't go any further in this company. The glass ceiling, as you can see in the picture, is where you want to move up in a company, but there's this barrier, and it's an invisible barrier. Nobody talks about it, but you can't move up, right? So the truth is that for a lot of women in business, there's a glass ceiling. The company is organized so that only the men get the best promotions. It's not official. It's not a policy. You can't see, right, in the documents and say, oh, no, it's an invisible barrier. There's a glass ceiling, not only for women, but in many, many situations. But that's one of the most common situations. We talk about the glass ceiling, right? I've hit a glass ceiling. So normally it's about promotion in a company, right? So it's an invisible barrier. Brilliant. Right, very, very good. Let's have a look. Okay, good. Celine, share what you've got here. Whoops, come back. There is a lot in here who is being paid lucratively for just a cushy number of work. Rubbish. Well, good examples, right? My job is a cushy number. I enjoy being on duty all day. Nice. When you enjoy your job, it can be a cushy number. This is nice from Rose. I love music and I think being a musician suits me down to the ground. Brilliant. Yes. Aziza, this is a nice example. Teaching seems to be a cushy number these days. Well, seems to be. That said, sometimes I have to pull my weight and think of the ways to make it light work. Lovely. Very nice. Yes. This is nice from Taher. I will never change my job. It suits me down to the ground. And everyone in my workplace pulls their weight. Yeah, nice. Brilliant. Brilliant. Very, very good. Taher, thank you very much. Some great examples, guys. Really nice. So, that's good. What's next? I know what's next. I'm going to move on from idioms to something else. And that something else is this one. Let's have a look. I've stopped it early. Great. Sample answers or model answers, all the same. Sample answers, model answers. Oh, let me just get rid of that for the moment. So remember, right, we have been talking about the topic of jobs. So it would be good to look at any questions you have. For me, IELTS questions about jobs. Write them down in the thingy, the comment box, and I will try and answer them. I'll pick out one or two. Great. Love the transitions. Good. Arda, Keith, is your YouTube channel a well-paid job? It's a quite well-paid job. A quite well-paid job, yes. Right. Oh, that's interesting. What is the job with the cushiest number? Ooh. Cue card, yes. Koshal, you could ask me a cue card if you like. Oh, there's a nice question. This is a part 3 question, I think. So let's go with this one. It's really interesting. Why do you think people quit their jobs? Nice. So if I can just copy that and put it over here. Great. I'll just take the jobs off. Thank you, Diane. That's great. Why do you think people quit their jobs? I would say that's probably a part 3 question, right? Going into more detail. So I'll try and speak for about 30 seconds on that, because normally we would do about 30 seconds for that. Let me see if I can add this. I don't need a clock, but it might be useful. Okay. Why do I think people quit their jobs? I think there's probably a multitude of different reasons. And obviously it depends on the circumstances. But I would say for a lot of people nowadays, one of the main reasons they give up their job is because of the stress. You know, a lot of people are under stress. They have to work very hard. They have to meet deadlines, tight deadlines. It's a huge amount of pressure on them. And so a lot of them will just give up the jobs because it's not worth sacrificing your health for the work that you're doing. Wow, 30 seconds, that's quick, right? Okay. Quit your job, give up your job, meet deadlines, tight deadlines, meet tight deadlines, sacrifice, it's not worth it, right? All interesting collocations to use in that kind of answer. Great. I will type this up, and later on the website you can get the full thing, the full thingy. Yes. Great. Oh, right. Okay. Let's try this one. This is a part 2 question. Kevin says, describe an awkward moment at your work. An awkward moment is a bit like an embarrassing moment, right? This is a very good question. Describe an awkward moment at your work. Okay. Let me just take this up. That's great, Kevin. Thank you very much for that. And I think in that case, I'm going to change this to 2 minutes. But don't start the clock yet. No. Describe an awkward moment at your work. Just give me a minute or a few seconds to think of an example here. Normally you have a minute, right? Just a tick. Right. Okay. Here we go. Describe an awkward moment at your work. So I'd like to tell you about a time when I took my boss for a meeting, but the people we met didn't turn up. Now, this is going back quite a while. It must have been, about 6 years ago. I was working as a project manager at the time for an educational institution. And I was organising a project where we helped teachers in their schools, and I had to go with my boss to meet a local government official. And what happened is I was responsible for setting up the meeting and organising the discussion, the content, the agenda, and all the follow-up points. So I spent a lot of time meticulously working out the agenda, setting up all the details, and I even agreed on the location, the date. But absent-mindedly, I forgot to double-check with the government official the day before that the meeting was still on. And so, the day of the meeting, I got in the car with my boss. We drove down to the government office. We arrived just on time and then said that we were ready to meet Mr. X. But we were told that Mr. X was not there, that he wasn't aware there was a meeting. And my boss said to me, "Did you telephone this morning to double check we had a meeting?" And I was so embarrassed because I hadn't. And it was a rookie mistake, like a beginner's mistake. The first thing I should have done was check the meeting. I was so embarrassed because the meeting was cancelled. It turned out to be a total waste of time for my boss, who was rather angry, and we drove back in complete silence to the office. Ooh, that was a awkward moment or an embarrassing moment at work. Right. Expressions there. Well, it must have been, this is going back 6 years ago. It must have been 6 years ago. I was working at the time. Those are very nice kind of structures to give the setting or the background, right, to what you're doing. What else? I forgot to double check, confirm the meeting. Other expressions there. Anyway, listen, I will go back later. We'll put all of these up. So just to remind you, right, when it comes to getting the notes from today's class, I know we've not quite finished, but if you want to get all the notes, then all you need to do is in about 4 hours' time, because I need time to set things up, go to the website, right, Keith Speaking Academy, go to the free live lessons up here, and you can download the notes here, right? You can actually see the videos here as well, but all of the notes, last week we looked at cue cards, more cue cards, we did part 1 topics, but you can just go and download the lesson notes there from today, but in about 3 or 4 hours, okay? Stop. What is next? I've got too many things going on here. I'll tell you what is next. This is next. Not this one, but this one. Not that one. This one. Kahoot. Kahoot is next, right? Okay. Kahoot is a fun game that we are going to play together. It's a way for us to finish up and just review and revise some of the language we've been looking at today. If you've not been here before, pay attention. You need to go to a website, or there's a mobile app, Kahoot, www.kahoot, Kahoot.it. Let me show you. This will make it easier. You need to log in, basically, and then we play the game. They're going to ask you 4 questions, and you have to guess the answers, right? So let me show you Kahoot. It's taking some time. Log in. Let's play jobs. No, don't need that. Thank you very much. I need this one. Teach. I'm going to show you. Kahoot is now loading. Tell you what I'm going to do, right? Normally, you put your names in. Today, don't put your name in because... all right, not why. Because, right, what you can do is you can choose a nickname. So you know who you are, right? So that we don't have any stupid names. Choose a nickname. And also, you've got personalized learning this time, which means, I'm going to turn this on, personalized learning, which means that, this means that you can practice after the game. So after the game, if you've got any questions wrong, you can practice the difficult questions after the game. You can go back and try and do it again. So that's just called personalized learning. So you're going to choose a nickname today rather than before. Here we go. We're going to play the classic one. Now just bear with me a moment. I just need to change something. Here we are. Let me take this off. You don't need that anymore. So go to Kahoot. Hey? Or download the free app. It's kahoot.it. Hello, what's happened? Exactly, Celine. Thank you. It's not working. It should be working. You just have to choose. You have to choose a nickname, and you know who you are. Exactly, Ashraf. It was a little bit annoying. You can put your answers in the comments section if you prefer. Absolutely. Shakun got Zany Lion. Strange names, right? Okay, let's do it. Let's move forward. Let's go straight in and let's start with the first question. Jobs. So true or false? I mean, correct or incorrect? Good news, I have a new work. Is that correct, true, or incorrect, false? Good news, I have a new work. I have a new work. Is that correct, true, or false, incorrect? Dun, 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 dun. The answer is, ooh, that's interesting. 50-50. It's false, right? It's false. I have a new work. Remember, work is not countable. I have a new job. You cannot say I have a new work, right? You can say I have a piece of work to do today, but not I have a new work. No, so it's false. That's the answer. It's false. It should be I have a new job. Right? Good. You're all saying uncountable. False. Exactly. What's interesting? 60-60, 50-50. Okay, let's move on. Scoreboard. Aquatic gator. You're at the top. There's an excited chicken second. Let's move on. Next question. I work blank education. I work blank education. What's the right preposition? I work blank education. Right, well done. I work in education, right? I work in education. Not for. Some of you said for. I work for education. Not really. You work for a company. I work for this school. I work for the Keith Academy, but I work in education, in with the field, right? I work in education. Okay, great. Where are we? Aquatic gator. Oh, has disappeared. It's now awesome wolf at the top and super gnu. Whatever that is. Next question, number 3. He is so lazy. He never pulls his blank. He is so lazy. He never pulls his blank. Now this one should be easy peasy. He is so lazy. He never pulls his blank. Well done, Dr. Sabiha. Nice. Well done, Aziza and Raka. Good. Shorov. Oh, Shorov. No, be careful. Exactly. It's weight. He never pulls his weight. Right? A few of you said finger. Now, there's a different expression with finger, which is to point the finger, is to blame or accuse somebody. I point the finger at you as I blame you. But pull your weight is to do your job, what you should do, right? So he never pulls his weight. Well done. Let's find out. Scoreboard. The wolf is still at the top. The red puffin is trying to get in there. Come on then. Let's find out. The last question. Women never get promoted in this company. There is a glass blank. Women never get promoted in this company. There is a glass blank. Dun, 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 dun. Well done, Yuko and Clara, despite your spelling. Eugenia, well done. The answer is ceiling. Fantastic. That's great to see. Yes, there is a glass ceiling. That's why women never get promoted in this company. Well done. Very, very nice. That's good to see. Let's have a look on the leaderboard. What's happening? Honest Condor, 3rd. Super Gnu, 2nd. And the winner is Awesome Wolf. Well done. Awesome. Awesome Wolf. Well done, my friend. Excellent. That's nice. 1st place. Let me come back. So, guys, thank you for staying with me. It's been wonderful today. I've really enjoyed being here and showing you some different language vocabulary. We've had idioms, phrasal verbs, talking about your jobs and your ideal jobs, a bit of listening practice. We've also done some sample answers and a review of all the language. You can go back to Kahoot and you can do that again to make sure you get the right answers. Remember, review, review, review. It's so important for your English. So do remember, you can go and get the PDF in maybe 3 or 4 hours on Keith Speaking Academy. If you're on YouTube, well, even if you're on Facebook, this will be recorded. So you can go back and watch it again. Go and tell your friends or students about it. Please do remember to subscribe on YouTube and turn on the notification button. That would be great. You can find out about my video coming up on Saturday, which is going to be all about part 3 tips. Nice. If you like Facebook and you're on Facebook and you want to join us, there is a Facebook group, Keith's Mastermind Community for IELTS Speaking. You can join. It's free. There's a lot going on. People are sharing their questions, their results. We're practicing with each other and just trying to motivate each other to keep learning, because it can be quite difficult at times, right? So that's there as well. Facebook group and the website. Go and check them out. And just to let you know, I have updated my online course, IELTS Speaking Success. So I've included some of the new 2021 questions around farms, farming, singing, handwriting, telling the truth, unusual clothes. So go and check it out. If you're already in, just go back in. You get it for free. If you haven't bought it, maybe now is the time. Go and have a look, see what you think. You can find the links on my website, or you can go to the website, Keith Speaking Academy, and you can find the links there to the course. If it's right for you, great. Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Those of you doing the test, fingers crossed. Let me take that off. Fingers crossed, break a leg. Best of luck for tomorrow or Saturday if you're doing the test then. Let us know how it went. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday for another exciting edition on the Keith Speaking Academy. Take care, my friends. See you soon now. Bye-bye.